Newer model of our heavy-duty cuisine line that we're coming out with. This is great. It's a lot of great modifications. The Synergy grill will revolutionize broiling, so we're going to spend more time over there. But what Garland did was Garland always had two sizes heavy-duty ranges. They had the U.S. range cuisine, which was 36 inches, and they had the Garland Master Series, which was 34. The U.S. range name is going away. So Garland will now have two platforms. They'll have the Garland Cuisine, which this is 36 inches, and then they'll still have the Garland Master Series, 34 inches. So all the modifications have been made to the existing cuisine, so it's a 36-inch footprint. And some of the things that we've done to set us apart from our competition is we went to new top grates. We went to a 6-piece heavy-duty top grate. Instead of that one heavy-duty burner that people would complain about was too heavy. So we went to a 6-piece heavy-duty top grate. We went to a new flue. Now, part of the reason that we did that is kitchens are open. Walls are coming down in kitchens. Your dining experience is seeing your food being cooked. So we wanted nicer European-looking equipment. So what we did was, that's your standard flue riser. We incorporated a custom European look belly bar. What you see here is out of the box, standard. So if you ordered these two pieces, a 6-burner and a plancha, this is what you would get.
Would it normally come with a cover on the here?
You would order caps and covers. The reason we don't put a cover on the end, we don't know where the gas is coming in. So when you order it, I recommend saying gas feed right, cap and cover on the left, or if you have 3 or more units, dual feed, so you get balanced heat flow.
So when you went to the bigger size, did we still, wanting to get closer to the microphone here? So on the bigger ranges, when you guys transferred, are we still going to have to deal with the 5-inch additional length for the rear manifold?
Yes.
Or when you went to the wider size, can we do a 3/4 or 1 1/4 inch manifold to the back through the range?
Well, either way, you can come inside, or this is built with rear gas connection.
Right.
When we take this apart later, since we're tight for time, you'll see the rear part. But whenever you're doing it, it's really where the utilities are coming in. If they're coming in from the side, you're gonna need that 4 or 5 inches. Unless, most places, if they have more than 3 or 4 units, they'll put a spreader cabinet, they'll bring the feed in, and they'll dual feed it.
Right.
Again, if you're going 4 or more units, dual feed. You want that balance. We went to a 35,000 BTU unit burner head. Garland was 24, US range was 30, 32. We went to 35, and we made it so it's easy to remove, easy to clean. The biggest thing, the #1 complaint we got from many consultant end users are pilot outage. The top 3 things are cleanability, reliability, and functionality. So what we're now doing is, if you look, our top pilots are totally concealed. You don't even see the top pilot. If you take this off, you'll see the pilot's there and would get buried in the little cavities here to prevent any spillage. What that's doing is, in the middle of cooking, if they have a boil over, it's not gonna clog up. How many times have we seen kitchens where they leave the burner on just so they know if they throw a pan on it, it'll ignite, or they grab a piece of paper and they light the burner. We've eliminated that.
Pretty easy to pull the full tube burner thing out?
This is probably strapped down, but all you would do, pop this out, and it comes
So
out.
they both come to the front?
They both come to the front. I'll just put that in there. So that was some of the things we've done on the top. Again, we went to a standard, heavy-duty looking European belly bar. One of the things that chefs want, they want to make sure we have a good substantial handle, because most chefs will have something in one hand and will be turning the knob on and off. So we went to a, let's see if these are all bolted on. We went to a cast heavy-duty knob with a 1-inch grip, so they can see it, and also the markings allow them to see if a unit's on at the end of the night. Another great feature that we've actually brought in from the restaurant series range is cleanability is so important. So if you know, up till now, every manufacturer out there has this 36-inch big cumbersome grease drawer. So if you have a spillage, you'd have to pick it up, bring it to the kitchen. We now went to 3 12-inch drawers. What would you want your employee to carry to the kitchen? If they have a spill here, they can dump it, send it to the dishwasher. Easy to clean. Cleanability was so important. All stainless steel interior underneath. This is all stainless. This is where you want stainless. You know, barbecue sauce, acidic sauces, grease will kill aluminite steel. It's what's inside that counts. It's like that chassis of that Mercedes. We brought the look of the diamond flute down to the side, chamfered corners for strength. And the one thing that no one wanted us to change, and we didn't change it, was the doors. We know we have the best doors in the industry. These doors are made for people to stand on. Dan, you want to give it a shot?
No, my balance isn't that good.
All right.
But hop on up there.
So we know you can stand on the door. Gary, you want to join me?
Oh, yeah. Come on down. Nice.
We don't recommend standing on the door, but we know people are going to do it when no one's looking. So, and then to shut it, the way it worked. So what we did was we incorporated high BTUs, European look, durability, strength, and cleanability. That's everything end users and consultants want in cooking equipment.
So I'm assuming it's just counterbalance hinges on the door, right?
Dual springs.
Right. Oh, it is. Okay. So easy to get to. Okay.
You'll see dual springs. If by chance, every door throughout the years will come out of alignment, the great thing about this is all you do is take a nut driver and you can adjust them. It's kind of like tightening bicycle chain. You can actually easily adjust it and pull that door tight again. We offer 2 oven interiors. This is porcelainized. And then we offer stainless steel. I like porcelain, stainless, cleanability, and also it bakes better. Black absorbs heat. Think about wearing a black t-shirt in the summer in the outside or a white t-shirt. The black will absorb heat more. You get a little bit more even bake. The stainless steel is very West Coast. They do more stainless steel. So we're showing that you can get it as an option. But standard is porcelain. The other thing is this unit, no one really recommends, again, cooking on the bottom of an oven, because what happens is you have a pan full of grease and prime rib. You put it on a hot surface, you're going to get a grease fire. We try to prevent those things from happening. So these ridges here, you notice we have ridges on the bottom. So when we put a greasy pan in there, it lifts it up about just enough to give an airflow to prevent grease fires. But when we do engineering, we try to do it as fine as we can. Those grooves line right up, so if I slide this, it's an easy transition. So I can put a heavy tray there, slide it in. Yeah. So it slides in and out. I mean, small things like a guard on the thermostat, just in case they're coming down the line with a cart and they hit it, it protects your thermostat. Again, so many great features on the...
Electronic ignition standard on the oven too, right?
Yes. Well, standing pilot, they can get what we call flame failure or electronic ignition, but standing pilot with the TS11 safety valve. Now, the newest item to our product line, which we're excited about, which we've never had at Garland, we now have a true plancha. All right. Up till now, Garland only had a griddle, or what they called a perimeter griddle, where they would take a griddle, cut a groove in it. So this is a floating plancha. So it's 5/8-inch steel plate, 2 30,000 BTU burners. So normally when you cook with a plancha, you cook on high and one side on low, so you can cut, slice, and it's great for searing, blackening. But a plancha is nothing more than a griddle.
And I'm sorry, I missed the burner part, because
So we have two 30,000 BTU burners
Okay.
on each side, independently controlled. A plancha normally would not have a thermostat because you want as much heat as possible, and you're going to get probably up to about 700 to 800 degrees for searing or quick cooking.
So does this become gradient, or is it completely even across the top? Because
Well,
you
you
know, like
get,
a lot of those dudes want that gradient heat in the middle,
And-
and they like to move the stuff
well,
off
what
the
you would
end.
do then is you can go middle. There's French and Spanish.
Right.
What we do is we put our burners front to back, so you can have this as your hot side. If you're right-handed, you may want your hot side so you can push to the left or vice versa.
Right, got it.
So we have two burners, each one's independently controlled. Again, you can get convection oven base, overhead, all that stuff is standard. But this is our new Garland Cuisine 36-inch footprint. Right now, if I had my choice to go any equipment, I feel this is the best in the market. So with that said, we also do a full line of induction, counter induction. We have our MCO convection oven with our new Easy Touch control. If you want to see how the control works, you can. We have a live one over there and the test board over there. And our convection ovens, we're 24-inch cooking chamber. We're the only manufacturer that gives you 6 racks instead of 5. So when you do the math, that's 20% more cooking capabilities.
Standard depth, not bakery, right?
This is standard depth. You can get bakery depth if opted.
Yeah, but I was just always trying to get that straight in my head, because other lines we had previously, they were standard bakery, and we had to ask for,
Deeper depth.
no, we always got the deeper standard.
No,
With
this is,
So Montague was standard full depth, and if you wanted the shorter depth oven, you either had to
oh, you have to order,
change
yeah.
lines, or you had to get the shallow oven.
The problem going from a standard to an existing to a deep, you gotta make sure the hood's wide enough.
Right.
So what you're doing is, we got 24-inch cooking chamber, 6 racks. You can bake on every shelf. It's probably the most even bake. We find it bakes more even than a deep depth. The reason for the deep depth, people were looking for better even bake, so they used to stagger their pans. We find that if you're cooking flat products such as white sheet cakes, cookies, you can cook on every rack. If you're doing something like a muffins or something with a rise rate, you're probably going to have to remove 2 racks so you get better airflow. It's a serpentine system, so the heat comes out through the power burners, comes halfway up to here. And if you look inside the cooking chamber, you'll see in the very back corner a little silver box on the left-hand side of that flue. That's where your heat comes out. And what that does, it comes out there and then it naturally migrates to the top of the oven. That's why we get balanced heat. We don't bring it up all the way up the side. We only bring it halfway up, then it migrates up. So usually when you have the traditional way of bringing heat into a convection oven, they would almost have a perforated side, so the heat comes up, so you're getting more heat in the side than the front and the back. So what we're doing with the serpentine system is, instead of your products of combustion and your heat going into the chambers on the side, we're coming up through a series of channels. It almost looks like an S. And then when it comes out to that middle, it migrates up naturally, and you don't have to spin your product as often. And this has been tested numerously by third parties. I'm not saying that we've eliminated spinning it, but the chances of having to spin it is less here than most manufacturers.
And you don't have things like an auto-reversing fan that can
No,
break.
no, with no auto reversing fan.
There's no movement that can damage. It's just the air pattern.
Just the air pattern. The one thing I do recommend, if they're using it as a finishing oven and they're in and out, go up to the 80,000 BTUs. This is 60,000, but if they're using it as a finishing oven, I recommend going to 80,000 BTUs.
Chain link door.
Heavy duty chain on the bottom, a 5-year door warranty, 2-year parts and labor.
I'm the new guy. That's why he's asking.
Oh,
questions
okay.
for me, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been around, I mean, even small details. Remember I told you how we line up the grooves on the bottom of the oven door? Why are these panels slanted? Why aren't they straight like everybody else?
So that if you're using the bottom oven, you can see the temperature on the bottom oven without having to squat down.
You got it. The oven's looking at you. So if I'm a chef walking to a kitchen, I can just look down, I can see that temperature instead of having to bend down. It's small features like this. So it's a great unit. What I'm going to do now is I know that the broiler is really exciting. So we have this great broiler over here that we're going to talk about. So another great product that we introduced this year that's going to revolutionize broiling. And someone said, and this is Leander Cadbury, he's one of my colleagues from the UK. Someone said to us recently about broilers haven't changed in 50 years. So Synergy out of the UK, GARLAND partnered with them, and we brought broiling to a new level. So what your normal broiler, 36 inches, will run about 105 to 110,000 BTUs. We're going to be cooking at anywhere from 30 to 50,000 max. So with that said, I'm going to turn over to Leander, and he can explain the dynamics and the way it works, and then I'll get the chef to cook some food for us.
So, as Kevin just said, there has been relatively little innovation in the category of char grill and griddle technology. Like combi ovens replacing old-fashioned, traditional, single-function, basic thermostatic technology of conventional single-function ovens, Synergy has done the same. So it's, from a performance point of view, it's faster, quicker, better tasting food, more comfortable operating environment for the chef, doubles the throughput. From a business point of view, it's the most cost-efficient charbroiler in the world to operate that we know of. It pays for itself typically quicker than every year in its 50 to 74+% energy saving. It's self-cleaning to the extent that there's no fat tray. It vaporizes all the oil and grease, so it reduces a significant amount of labor costs. There's reduced maintenance costs because there's no thermocouple. Sod's law, that will break down on Valentine's Day coming up, or Christmas Day, or busy night for the restaurant, just when it's hottest and busiest and needs it least. So Synergy technology in the GARLAND XHP charbroiler eliminates that. It also, the experience around the world has found that it halves extraction maintenance, the deep cleans and the primary filter cleaning. Because although it's doing the job of the fat tray by vaporizing the oil and grease, it's actually atomizing it, which is a cleaner vaporization. So the smoke has been assessed to be 8 times cleaner, measured in microns of fat per particle of smoke. So therefore, the smoke coming off this, although it looks the same as a normal charbroiler, it's actually a cleaner white mist, and it's more like a load of pots boiling water. So it just goes straight through. So less money being spent unnecessarily on energy costs, utility companies, higher performance, higher operating environment for the chef, more comfortable operating environment, and far more sustainable as well. This product has won the Kitchen Innovation Award, the Blue Flame Award, and industry-leading sustainability and performance and innovation awards all around the world, from the UK to Australia. It's in over 4,500 sites around the world currently, used with top Michelin-starred chefs, through to big global casual dining chains, through to every type of private sector, public sector, any type of commercial kitchen. So whilst the capex cost of this is higher, the cost efficiency means it's, even within 1 year, including the cost of buying it, one of the cheapest grills in the market. So for that reason, this product has been the leading product that's generated rollouts across big chains globally. It works very well just on a table or on an under-counter fridge. The 3 key design differences of this, to summarize it, that make it different to any other charbroiler, are where you normally have that U-burner, holes punched in it to allow the gas to come out, deflector, angled bars with a drip channel, fat tray. Synergy gets rid of all of those things. You've got a highly efficient, high output, but low consumption burner technology, ceramic stone base, and a patented air vortex system, as well as numerous other patented aspects of this technology, which has been developed over about 15 years. What all of that means is much better tasting food, cooked faster and with even heat distribution, so much more consistency, because you sear the product quicker, you lock in the moisture and mist the fats and oils back through. So you get all the flavor without the greasiness to clean up. Secondly, it's, as I said, self-cleaning. And thirdly, self-financing. Yeah, correct. So where any conventional char broiler, it's just the aim of the flame is to throw heat upwards, and it's kind of conductive heat, metal components of a conventional char broiler. So the chef puts a load of product on, and it loses heat, and they've got to kind of play chess with the char broiler and figure out where the hot and cold spots are, and that changes depending on the load. So traditionally, a char broiler introduces huge inconsistencies within the operation,
Right.
even though all other categories of equipment in the kitchen over the years have innovated to improve consistency and allow a non-super high-skilled force. Exactly. So it's, a lot of people make the Tesla analogy in terms of it being a whole new thought process of technology. So yes, where the synergy technology in the Garland XHP comes in is instead you're cooking off a focused heat sink of air above natural ceramic stone with completely or the most even heat distribution of any char broiler in the market, assisted with the patented air vortex system. A whole load of other efficiencies like regenerative braking in electric car technology. Synergy actually uses the fats and oils as additional heat source, and the excess heat that comes underneath is circulated back through that, so you're getting all the synergy with a small s efficiencies of recycled energy. So that's where often the energy saving in real terms is often even more than our official recorded statistics or rated statistics. But I think it's much more than a char broiler. It's a universal piece of prime cooking equipment. There's no cross-flaving. You can put meat, fish, fruit, vegetables, and there's no cross-contamination. There's a vegetarian divider plate that can help segregate vegan or vegetarian products from your meat products. Again, allowing an operation, fine dining or casual chain, to not have to buy separate bits of equipment just to be able to add food products that are of continually high demand and expand their customer base. There's a slow cook shelf here. There's the optional garnish rail at the front. And you've got two modular zones in the 36-inch char broiler, which it just exists in this size at the moment. There's the future potential of other sizes. What I would say from the size point of view is if an operator says, oh, we use a smaller char broiler or we use a bigger one, the majority of these Synergy technology products around the world are multiple units per kitchen. And that's because chefs, operators are finding they can use this technology for much more than a conventional char broiler is used, which is for your standard barbecue grill type product. With this, you can have delicate white fish because it eliminates the sticking and the inconsistencies that a lot of places would not risk with delicate and expensive raw food products. You can slow cook with it. There's developments of a flat top griddle which can be used on this as well. So the multifunctionality of this product means that there is literally a synergy in having 1 or 2, 3, 4 of these all together. However much space of your kitchen is this technology, typically it's elevating the flexibility, the menu versatility, the energy efficiency, the throughput capacity of the kitchen, and that limited space under an extraction hood and limited space of the kitchen to maximize output revenue generation, whether it's in-house dining or delivery and takeaway. The maximum energy consumption of this product, of this 36-inch char broiler, is 54,000 BTUs. In actual practice, we found the sweet spot for cooking is level 2 out of 10. So we're actually operating at 32,000 BTU. So your energy efficiency is over 70%. So the fairly universal feedback of the Garland XHP with Synergy technology is that this 36-inch char broiler can typically outperform at least a 48-inch char broiler. Now, for those sites that have a smaller char broiler and say, we love it, but we want a smaller one, we'd say this technology typically frequently replaces not just the conventional char broiler in the kitchen, but the flat top griddle, a couple of the cooker hobs, even those bullseye flat top units, because you can put pots and pans on as well, so long as the liquid isn't going to spill over into the ceramics. And the multifunctionality of this means that you can use it for multiple times the range of products and the turnover of a conventional char broiler. So we would say even if you currently have, 18-inch char broiler or less, make space for this because it's multifunctional. Again, like the modern combi oven replacing an old-fashioned single-function oven analogy. With a combination of smart, well-built equipment, you can do double the volume with half the kitchen space occupied. And that's exactly what this delivers. So as this is brand new, we're just going to season the bars. This is arguably the least preferable condition of any to demonstrate the product. When it's brand new, the ceramics aren't broken into, the bars aren't seasoned with oil. Even doing it when it's hot, it actually vaporizes rather. Yeah, could we? Do you have the lifter tool to put the other bars? Yeah, that's going to be hot. So what we've got here, as you can see, is some oiled chicken breast. Coming from myself or ourselves without a chef jacket is perhaps proof of the consistency and quality of food and ease of use that the XHP delivers here. But one easy way to sum up what this delivers is easily remembered by the letter S. The GARLAND XHP uniquely has Synergy Grill technology, and we say that delivers the 6 S's. Superior quality food, it's self-cleaning, it's self-financing, safe and simple to operate, and the most sustainable in the market. And this is really where we find, although it's very simple and clear what this product delivers, we find, because it's so many big benefits and it delivers in every area, from performance to cost of operation, to reliability, to sustainability, to more comfortable working environment. We have to demonstrate it because people don't believe it until they've seen it. But something that's obviously an increasing trend now is higher demand and expectation of staff in the kitchen to have a more amenable, more friendly, more comfortable working environment. Because a lot of staff, people that come into the industry, aspiring chefs, are very happy to work with the environment and do what the job takes, but after a 12, 13-hour shift, when they then have to spend an hour and a half scrubbing up a greasy char broiler, that's the bit that really tips them over the edge, and they feel that's not really the career they signed up for. This product eliminates that, combined with delivering a much more sustainable operation and a better quality food product for the consumer as well. So energy costs are only going up and up, particularly now more than they ever have. They're at the 7-year high at the moment, and it's only going more that direction. Again, this product delivers that more than any other piece of heavy cooking equipment. Massive, massive energy savings that we would say this doesn't just deliver a load of features and benefits. We would say an operator is not able to be competitive in the future without putting this in. Even if your current char broilers work fine and you've just bought them. We've had clients install over a period of 3 months, 600 of these, replacing the entire estate, replacing even brand new, large, mainstream brand char broilers, as much as replacing old and replacement ones, because they find it's very simple to integrate, but the payback of this is so big and so quick, rather than your 3-4 year payback. When it's quicker than a year, it is more expensive to keep using your current equipment than it is to upgrade to Synergy technology right now, today. And that's really the #1 message to anyone. So another good example of the much safer and more comfortable working environment is how this technology eliminates big problems in kitchens that we've grown accustomed to, but which the current labour market is no longer happy to temper. The significant flare-up you can get from oily products, or let alone higher loads than this, is more than any other char broiler eliminated with the XHP with Synergy technology. This safety and greater control of the product is also shown by the fact that you can hold your hand over here, and this is comfortable and easy. And yet, the cooking speed is faster, the throughput is much greater, typically double or more with this. And that's because this technology is highly efficiently not throwing heat out and cooking the chef, but it's focused on the product itself and using the oils to cook it quicker and faster. So although when you see me doing that, you're assuming, oh, the char broiler is not hot enough, because that's one of the first things chefs often do, is they walk up and they say, you know, they measure they assess the temperature based on waving their hand. And actually that's because we've grown accustomed to the inefficiency of old technology that's throwing heat out that's wasted into the air, and as well as uncomfortable for the chef. And this product eliminates that. Chefs have grown accustomed to having to whack the temperature up in the char broiler to try and anticipate a fall in temperature and more inconsistent heat spread when actually they just want to switch it on and it deliver that heat throughout the whole day. And that's exactly what this delivers. So the busier it gets, the faster it cooks. And it's when you're busy is when you really need the speed. When you're quiet, 30 seconds, 60 seconds here or there makes virtually no difference. When you're busy, that's when the cooking time of the food can directly affect the revenue the business can take when queues start forming. Yeah, definitely. So we've had numerous chains take this on, and the charbroiler has always been the limiting factor to the capacity they can produce, particularly at busy hours. They were expecting sort of improvements of 5, 10, 15, 20% throughput capacity. This more than doubled their throughput to the extent that the XHP with Synergy technology completely eliminated the charbroiler being the limiting factor. It came down to how quickly they could plate the food and serve it and get it out. That's how significant the uplift in the operation can be. A good point was raised just now as well that the yield of the food product is increased hugely. Because you sear it quicker and lock in the moisture, and any fats and oils that come out are misted back through it, then we've had top chefs around the world do empirical assessments on this compared to any gas, electric or solid fuel charbroiler, and they found that there is double the moisture retention, so less than half the shrinkage during cooking. And not only does that lead to higher customer satisfaction, but it leads to a higher yield and financial opportunity for the operator as well. If you can output the same product by buying 10-ounce burger rather than a 12-ounce burger, then it's win-win for everyone, and you've got a more flavoursome, juicier, more satisfying result for the customer as well.
Retaining moisture and better yield.
Yeah.